Not. Hello, friends, and welcome back. Episode 3, Season 2 of our Animorphs hack, Morphs in the Swamp, Blades in the Dark. The hack is called Morphs in the Dark, and it is by At the Forefront on Itch and Twitter. But yeah, we're here, we're queer, we're gonna play some tabletop games, some teenagers in the 90s. We're going to go around and everyone's going to introduce themselves and their characters and answer this fucking awkward question that I have to come up with that I thought about today. I just forgot to tell everyone what the question was. And the question is... I forgot. The question is... it was 90s related, of course, because it's 1998. It wasn't movie-based. I don't think it was movie-based. Oh, yeah. It's a Saturday. You're hanging out in your local mall because you do. But it's lunchtime. You're hungry. You're famished. You have $15 to spend at the food court. What is your go-to food court meal?
Easy.
Go ahead, buddy.
Do I go?
Yeah.
I go. Here you go.
Yeah, you go.
Hi, my name is Ali, and I'm playing Javier D. Estrada Hernandez. And his food court choice option, preferred option, my God, I'm going to have trouble today, is without a doubt Sabaro. Just stacks on stacks on stacks of carbs. Just give me all that bread.
Were you like a pizza or were you a calzone Sabaro?
Calzone me, baby. I want meat and cheese wrapped in layers of bread.
Hell yeah. Same TBH. What about you personally?
I fuck with the fact that I can just walk around. So I get my entree at the Chinese one, and I get the garlic breadsticks at Sabaro, and then I'll usually get fries at whatever place sells fries.
Fair.
I'm a monster.
Yep, there you go. Okay. Anna, you're up.
Yes, I am. I'm Anna, aka Archival Despot, most places on the internet, queer and trans advocate, museum worker, TTRPG streamer, and podcaster. Find me on Twitter at Archival Despot. And I play Riley via stream, all around fantasy nerd, band geek. And mall food wise, for better or worse, I think she's right there with her boyfriend eating the pizza, all of the time.
The way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Hi, I'm Nilstein. I'm playing Tony, our Battleborn. Man. You know what I'd do, Tony? Honestly, would probably end up going with Cerberus too, because I feel like they're the most food and cost-wise that you can get, especially in the 90s.
Yeah.
But I feel like both he and I would all get the most food for the least money, and then blow the rest at tilt, which is a big arcade chain that has been in was in every mall I remember in the 90s. I don't think they exist anymore.
Arca, Effie hasn't been to a mall yet, but what can you imagine Effie's,
All right. First of all, Sabaro.
Yeah.
All of y'all. The fuck. The nastiest thing in the food court.
Yes.
Y'all are all like, I want some Sabaros. There's a P.F. Chang's right there. There's a Panda Express. There's an Orange Julius.
What?
There's
fancy
There's
malls.
a Japanese place that does like the best teriyaki chicken you've ever had, and the girl who stands there is so sick of seeing you loop around every 45 minutes to get some more free chicken. And y'all went to Sabaro? I did. I lived next to a good mall, and $15 was largesse in 1998.
Yeah.
You could put so much food in your bottomless teenager stomach with $15. $15 all to myself. I am in fact going to PF Chang's and fucking Panda Express and the Japanese place, and I am getting a little bit of orange chicken and a little bit of sesame chicken and a little bit of teriyaki chicken, and I'm going to mix them all up together in my rice with some duck sauce and just eat the whole bucket of it. And then my Andalite will eat the same thing because it is the best thing you can make in the mall.
Just don't tell them it's me, right?
All right, so for me, because here's the thing about the mall, is that I lived about an hour's drive to the closest mall in the town that we play this game in. And Sabaro was there, PF Chang's was there. The other options, I think, were Chick-fil-A. We didn't know better back then. And we didn't. And those milkshakes and the lemonade are bomb. Like, forget the chicken. The milkshakes were bomb, right? But, you know, unfortunately, we don't endorse Chick-fil-A because, fuck those guys. But also, I always had to get Auntie Anne's. I needed a pretzel dog with some mustard. Just, Cause, yeah, that's where it's at. There was also the cookie place, the cookie cake place, that you could also get cookies at.
Mrs. Fields.
Yeah. Little cup of
Cookies
community
like
coffee.
the size of your head.
And a big ass cookie, chocolate chip, M&M cookie. Yeah, it's fucking dope. Yeah, that's learning a little thing about our 90s nostalgia and how we feel about malls. I just watched the last episode of The Last of Us, which takes place in a mall, so there was a little like, oh, and there was an A&W there, which is like you're in Boston. But anyway, so kind of a heads up before we get started. As a reminder, this game takes place in the 90s in the Gulf South, the deep South of America, and we are playing queer and brown kids that are living there. So there is going to be those social challenges that we play out for cathartic sake. We have our proper safety tools up between all of us that are there using them. But if anything ever gets a little bit too much for you, audience, please take care of yourself and step away when those particular challenges go. And also a fair warning, there is going to be, for this particular episode, just a heads up, corrupt cops will be part of this episode, and I would like to warn everyone when that comes to when it comes to that. And on top of all of that, this is Animorphs. There's a lot of fucking body horror. There's a lot of colonialism. There's a lot of these aliens literally enslave your body. So take that as you will. But again, we're taking care of ourselves as we play with our consent tools, and I just want everyone else here that's watching the game to also take care of themselves when it comes to that. And on top of all of that, this is a viewer-affected game. This game really, really thrives when we fail, but sometimes we want to thrive over the game. So, you can help us do that with your bits, subs, and donations. Every 100 biddies that you donate to the stream gets a reroll to anyone here. If you subscribe to the channel, you can give an extra dice to anyone here, which could mean the difference between a crit failure sometimes. If you give a donation of $5 or more through coffee, you can give an auto crit. So, look at part. I was just talking about you, Rindis. I was like, I bet Rindis is gonna raid us today, and sure enough, he is. Welcome, Party Wipe Games. Hope Tells from the Loop was good. And if you give a $10 donation, you get to give me an idea. And of course, those ideas do not cross our lines and veils, which are very few in this game, but we do not cross them. So, with that, guys, what happened last time? What do y'all fucking remember? I like for y'all to tell me what was important to you. So it's not because I don't have like 8 games between the last time we played and now, but then I realized we all have 8 games probably between the last time we played and now. But yeah, what do y'all remember? What's happening? What's from the last time?
I remember a completely amicable situation between me and Effie.
Yeah.
That what actually did go pretty well for like 80% of it.
Right? We were on our shockingly best behavior for an outrageous amount of time, considering there was no one there to separate us. Why the fuck are my neighbors vacuuming a hardwood floor?
Wow. Someone else help, my brain is buffering.
That reminded me that Riley stood up to Effie, told her that she could leave if she didn't like it. And then Riley also took the blame for Javier being out too late.
Yeah.
And jumped on that figurative grenade.
Yep, there was that.
Javier's moms are planning you some sort of surprise that they told you to bring all your friends to.
Which I expect that it'll just be Javier and Riley.
We know my other friend is a controller, so.
I know. And that's okay. Yeah, no. As far as the session goes, it was technically completely a downtime session for Blades in the Dark, which we didn't quite finish. We have a downtime session left over with Nilsson's character Tony, which is simultaneously happening around the same time that this surprise is going to happen. And we are going to start with Tony, as you are indulging in your vice, or your virtue.
Indeed.
From what I understand. And you're doing that on a Friday night, what you're supposed to be doing, right?
Yeah.
Playing fucking football.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really miss another game, right? Well, I could, but I feel like then people will start being suspicious, which...
Yeah. Which also means that, Riley, you could or could not be there if you want to be in the band playing, but it is an away game. So, I would assume that because it's an away game, the band actually isn't going, because sometimes that just is too many buses to pay for. So luckily for you, you don't have to go if you don't want to. But that's up to you. But it is an away game, and it's not very far. It's in the town of a town across the river. A rival high school. There's 3 high schools in your city, and then 4 across the river. One of them is, of course, the Catholic school that you go to. So go ahead, Tony, as you are on the field. What position does Tony play?
Right. Tony is a... my lack of football. I believe it's a defensive center is the name of it. He's near the middle, and he's the one of the people who kind of tries to guard the quarterback, but isn't necessarily there to run. Yeah.
Okay. So the center...
actually, with defense, it means he'd go for tackling. But yeah.
Yeah. So the center... I know this because my brother played center. The center actually touches the ball every time. He's the one that hikes the ball to the quarterback.
Hikes, that's right.
Yeah, he's the one that hikes the ball to the quarterback.
It's been a long, long time since I watched football, and I almost never paid attention to it.
And then, I consider football essentially a war game, and so that's why
I mean, it basically is.
And when you look at it like that, it's like, oh, everyone is a piece on the board. Fantasy football is just D&D, let's be real. So... You're playing football, so let's go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll your.
Yep,
your
I get
dice.
a full single D6.
Yeah.
Here to the.
A full D6. Yep.
Oh, good. 3 is not bad. I have 4 stress, so 3 is right where I wanted. The only comment I have gameplay wise is that
Mhm.
Tony is definitely more aggressive. These
Than he normally is.
yeah, than he used to be.
You know, he's just challenging that inner rhinoceros. Literally, there's
Exactly.
a rhino inside of him.
Exactly.
And he's just like, what would a rhino do in this situation?
I mean, he did manage to do really well against aliens with it at this juncture. So
like, I almost. So there's probably even this point where y'all are in the line, right? You're on the line. You've got that ball, and you're about to hike it, and you have a little bit of that, like, I could just like be a little rhino for a second, and you look up at the defense that's standing in front of you, and they're a little taken aback, and then you realize, oh wait, am I a little too rhino? like did my like
can't do that here. No.
They just think that you're a really ugly, man. It's but yeah, you know what? Can you just go ahead? This is a fortune roll, but just go ahead and just roll me 2d6, please. And what's the highest?
There they are.
Mm-hmm.
A 4.
A 4?
Yep.
Y'all don't win.
Oh man.
Like, y'all do not win. Y'all go into overtime, but lose. Unfortunately. So that's 2 losses in a row.
Yeah.
Which is not a big surprise. Y'all have lost your star quarterback. And y'all are on the second string.
Shit.
And y'all are on this poor little sophomore that is just like, hardly knows what they're doing. Definitely not a rising star.
Didn't I break his nose by like a few days ago at this juncture?
Yeah,
too?
at some
Or no,
point.
a week ago now.
Well, it would be a couple weeks because it's been
Yeah.
2 weeks since y'all
Yep.
blew up. Since y'all blew up the spaceship. By this point,
Oh god.
And as y'all are done with the evening, and it's probably about a 40-minute bus ride back home. At the field house, you see a cop car. And we're going to cut to Riley and Javier. Riley. Whether you went to the game or not is inconsequential because you're going to go to Javier's after. Did you invite any friends?
Well, since someone made the choice for us to forget 2 of our friends, I don't know that Riley had anybody else to invite that she isn't worried is a controller. So, no, I think she dresses cutely for it. She doesn't know what to expect. Actually wears a dress. But yeah, no, just her.
Javier.
Yep.
I'm assuming you didn't go to the game. So
I'm pretty sure I'm still grounded, so.
Yeah, but when you do get home from school, you see folded on your bed a polo shirt and khaki pants.
That's never a good sign.
and and a little box about this big, little box.
Yeah. If it's wrapped, I rip that shit apart. I want to see what this is.
It's a box of chocolates to give to Riley.
Oh no! Shit. Well.
My alarm is going off. It's 5 o'clock. Okay.
5 o'clock somewhere.
It's here on the West Coast.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tape that back together somehow.
You're just gonna be like, oh god! adorable. You do manage, to get it back together. Luckily, it wasn't like wrapped. There was just like a ribbon tied on it, so it's just like one of those cardboard boxes. And after you get dressed, your landscaper mom, who has been rather quiet, she's sort of waiting for you, and she's like, okay. And she holds up a blindfold and ties it around your face.
Okay.
And then guides you by your shoulders, just walks you through, and you can kind of tell that you're heading for the garage, right? And then just leaves you there. And then Riley, as you're kind of like waiting there, the garage door starts to open, and the blindfold is removed from you, Ollie, and it's revealed to you with a little disco ball with "And I don't want the world to see me," as your moms have set up your own homecoming in your garage for you with punch and cute music and a disco ball.
I think, I just want to give my moms a hug. This is very sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I think
sorry.
Riley is just standing there, I think, like deer in the headlights, not sure what to do.
It's very cute. Because y'all didn't get to go.
Yeah. I think as fake confidently as possible, I definitely, come up to Riley and just offer my hand for a little dance. Will you dance with me?
This is kind of embarrassing, but sure.
I don't think they're gonna stick around to watch, so it'll be okay.
They're not. They kind of give you the moment before you have the Rip Box chocolates in your hand. The CD player is yours to control. So there's like the CD tower that's like next to a fold out table. The little light spins, and it's all very, very cute and adorable.
It looks like you knew about this.
I did not. I had no idea what was happening.
Well, I'm really glad. I'm not good at dancing, but I'm very glad that I'm gonna get the chance to dance with you.
I'm glad we're getting that chance as well. This is very nice of your moms, considering everything we put them through.
Yeah, they're like that sometimes. And they got you some chocolates if you want them. I definitely didn't open the box and read the letter after.
I do want them, and you could have just said they were from you.
Yeah, well, they deserve the credit. I think I've been a little, maybe too suspicious of everyone.
The song changes to "Hi, I just died in your arms tonight." It's a mixtape that your moms put together.
Oh boy, this is truly something.
It's an experience. They pick out your outfit too.
How could you tell? Yeah, I don't really have a lot of dress up outfits, I'd say. Mostly hand-me-downs from my mom, actually.
Oh, we should get you some clothes of your own. This is nice though. It's nice to take a break from everything.
Yeah. I don't I think I don't think I really thought about this since it happened, but despite our lives being in peril, way more often than I ever thought was going to happen, being uh being with you has become it is it overshadows any of those things. It's and uh I'm just glad to actually be able to remind myself that you want to be with me and we're here together. It's it's just weird to think sometimes.
We
And
need to make sure.
And as the song changes to I Don't Want to Miss a Thing by Aerosmith, because that was the #1 song in 1998. Unfortunately, you'll see the very familiar red and blue of a cop car. Of the sirens. They're not making noise, but the lights are on. And they pull up in the driveway, and 2 officers get out, and one is that female cop that y'all recognize. And simultaneously, we're gonna cut to where Tony's at, as there is also a pair of police officers simultaneously getting out their car to approach Tony. As these cops approach Javier and simultaneously say your full names, you are under arrest for Grand Theft Auto. And begin to read your Miranda rights as they cuff you. Both.
I will immediately go and get his mother's.
Yeah, no, the moms are not happy, of course. No one's happy. Your own parents, Tony, are not happy. No one is happy. But you know, these 2 kids were spot in the next town over, pulled up into a gas station, caught on the CCTV cameras. And there's like this one moment where like the male cop that's in the driveway looks over at you, Riley, and goes, "You know, young lady, you should really choose your boyfriends more carefully." And then we're gonna cut and go into a gather information, as Tony and Javier will be jailed together.
Nice.
And Riley and Effie are not. So yeah. And yes, y'all are minors. So they clearly can't question you without a lawyer or with your parents present. But they can still arrest you and put you in jail. And you were in jail. And they're also fucking yerks. So, and you know, there's shit going on. I will, before y'all do your gather information rolls, let y'all have scenes. Just roleplay scenes. We can do a scene with Javier and Tony in prison. And we can do a scene with Riley and Effie if Riley is going, like, the only person that can help you, like, is the Andalite that no one actually likes. And she doesn't like y'all very much either. But it's a thing that's happening. Y'all fight over what y'all want to do first. And then we'll do some technical stuff.
Are we told, like, while Javier is being arrested, like, when this happened or anything like that?
So you would know, like, when it says Grand Theft Auto, you suspect that you have a good feeling it's from your car.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When it happened, you're not like they're not telling you what the evidence is that they have against because you're a kid or you're 18, but like you're not his lawyer or his mom.
Yeah.
So
Well, I wasn't sure if they
yeah.
told his moms while I was standing there, like when it happened.
Yeah, no, we will say they won't say when, but no, they will say that they were spotted 2 weeks ago in a stolen vehicle. He was seen high off of his mind in a stolen vehicle with Tony, and says your full name. And they're bringing you in for an investigation and questioning. You are under arrest, both of you. Mm-hmm. So yeah, probably would.
That's what I was wondering.
That. Yeah, you would have heard that. Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance I could wish something to Riley before I get halted away?
Yeah, sure.
As they're coming, like, you know, the whole whatever that was going on with me, you know, having emotions, gone.
Oh God. Yeah.
There's business now, so that's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And he just hugs you and like very quietly, I'm pretty sure these ones are infected. This might be a good chance to actually get close to them. From the inside, we might be able to actually maybe even kidnap one of them and again release them. Get a
Don't do anything stupid. Just sit tight.
Yeah, won't do anything stupid. Yeah, I get pulled away, I guess.
And I will remind his mothers that he was their home that night.
Yeah.
And I dropped him off, so I'm a witness to dropping him off. And then I'm going to go find Effie because I know exactly what happened after hearing that. I don't know if you want to do that first or if you want to go with Javier and Tony
I
first.
didn't sit quietly in the car. I didn't drive the car. I just sat there. I didn't even go in the store because I had no shoes and no shirts, so no services. Sure, that's fine.
Let's go ahead and do Riley and Effie first. Just because we haven't heard from Effie yet. Before Riley shows up, Effie, have you been to any crow meetings lately? Like, have you made one with the murder? Like,
I have.
You know what? You have definitely attended a crow funeral. Like, you realize that these birds mourn their dead. Like, and they have investigations. Like,
they're so smart. Like, they're not quite sentient yet, but very rarely do you get exposed to a species on the verge of sentience.
Yeah.
And so this is just fantastic. No one will ever believe me. I am watching the birth of their funeral rituals. They are developing a consistent language that can be understood from murder to murder.
Mm-hmm.
Sentience is forming. I'm obsessed with the crows.
Yeah, like, just you have been have you named any of them or asked their names?
Yes, I have asked their names, and I discovered that while they, like I said, on the verge of sentience, they're not quite there yet. They do have individual calls, and while I can replicate them in crow form, what good is that? So when I'm in my normal Andalite form, I have just numbered them, but I started them at 300 because I wanted the murder to seem bigger and more important than they were, because I am still just a kid.
That is true.
This is 301, 302.
And you know what? It's actually gotten to the point where they will bring you trinkets because you were just one of them. At this point, we'll just, why the fuck not? Riley. Well, Effie, what does Riley come to? Like, how what is your state of being? How does she find you?
So I'm almost feeling peaceful. I'm standing on little mound at the edge of the swamp. I'm looking at my ancient enemy, the alligator, who's still just circling my fucking ship.
Mm-hmm.
It's still in there, all wet and muddy, with an alligator between me and it. There's why? It's just doing it to spite me now. I have a crow. The crow is sitting on my ass. I'm talking to the crow. Like, Crow, do you see this shit? Crow is looking at me. Crow is like, look, I told you the alligator was an asshole. The crow and I are deep in a conversation about how we're going to outsmart the alligator. Because I'm lonely. I've been here for a couple days by myself at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reduced to talking to the crow. It's fine. The crow's better company. Crow is not judging me. The crow understands that it is not an Andalite. It is a small and lesser being, and it's still perfectly fine. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. It just means you're not an Andalite. I am still feeling very high strung about this last conversation we had. I don't know how to feel about this.
The conversation we'll have on Monday.
I thought we were having the right conversation. I thought we understood each other. They're not Andalites. They're not as good as Andalites. That doesn't mean they're not great humans. It just means they're not as good as Andalites. And apparently that is not a thing you say on Earth.
No, it's not.
Fucking figure.
It's just not.
I've been contemplating that. Trying to figure out how that aligns with myself. And the answer is it's bullshit. And I'm going to have to figure out how to deal with that. It's fine. So that's where Riley finds me. Standing with my crow.
Okay.
Contemplating the superiority of crows and how much I hate alligators.
Maybe 2 trees in front of you, a massive bald eagle, like 7-foot wingspan, slams into a branch, staring you down. What did you do?
That is a very vague question.
The crow
Javier
is
was just-
screaming at you, by the way, like, shit! Like, the entire murder is like, oh god! Like, it's an eagle. I couldn't help myself, of course. Anyway, continue.
Javier just got arrested for being, I'm guessing, in my car with Tony. He was at home when it happened, though, so it had to be you.
Yes, Tony took me for more snacks. We had eaten all of the oatmeal. I also ate the floor fries.
That car, it was reported stolen. They're in jail now. I'm assuming you know what that means. I'm assuming you have that.
Evie's laugh is a little bit shrill and a tiny bit uncomfortable because, why, yes, she's deeply familiar with Grand Theft Auto. Thank you for asking. And so she's kind of, you've never seen 4 eyes roll simultaneously, but they all do. They all roll up and to the right. Why did he put me in a stolen vehicle, Riley? That is not my fault, Riley. I did not put me in a stolen vehicle. I did not know how to sit. I could not have done it.
I know. This is Tony's fault, but we can think about that afterwards. The cops who took them are controllers.
Shit. I have
Or at
learned
least
an
one of them
excellent new
is.
word from Javier. I have learned to say shit, and I say it with such passion right now.
They're in a lot of danger, and we are in a lot of danger right now.
We cannot leave them to Yerks and controllers. Javier is in trouble for being in the wrong place. What if Javier is again in the wrong place?
I think that could work. Somebody who looks like him, but just slightly different. Can you do that?
I will need another human.
We can get one for you. If you can get another human and do that, The bird is like shuffling back and forth on this tree branch. And you drive the car and make sure that you're seen. That could help solve this. It's going to put you in danger. You're going to have to run. Maybe abandon the car. It honestly wouldn't hurt us for an Andalite to be seen. But I understand if you don't want to do that.
You understand that when the Yerks see me, when they know there is an Andalite, and not just suspect there is an Andalite, that you may be in more danger than you have ever been up till now. Now they will have seen me. You, me. It will enrage them.
For now, let's just worry about giving them an alibi. I don't know that we can do much for Tony, but we can at least help Javier.
Okay. We can do that. But first, Riley, you must show me how to put on pants, drive a car.
Oh, this is a terrible plan. Let's go back to the base. And I will fly back to base.
And, like, you have, like, this moment, Effie, where you see the type of bird that the crows are. You see the type of bird that Riley is. And you can come to your own conclusions, because most of the crows have fucking left, with the exception of, like, 2, which feel the need to harass Riley as she leaves. Like, ah!
Yes, that would be 307 and 342. They are the largest, oldest female and one of the younger but very large males. They are particularly protective of this murder. I am not surprised.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Javier and Tony. Y'all are in jail. Not prison, jail. In the shit can, essentially. Y'all are in a cell on your own. There is a few drunk people in, like, the drunk tank. And, just other couple, like, random people. You're not by yourselves. There's probably a total of about, 8 people between 3 cells. But they did put the 2 of you on your own. There are 2 police officers, and they're at their desk. One is that female cop from before, and one is an officer the officer that picked up Tony, which is a male white officer, probably in his mid-30s. He's got a little pudge. He's eaten a lot of Shipley's donuts. Shipley's is definitely where the donuts of that area, the brand. It's also in the Exxon station. Yeah. And it's... No one is questioning you. And in fact, like, your moms have done, like, both of your parents have requested lawyers. The thing is that it's 10:30, 11 o'clock at night at this point. Which means you're not getting lawyers until tomorrow morning. So you're here. In the cell together. What's up?
Javier, I might have messed up, man. I'm shit.
Well, I figured, considering I wasn't doing anything this time, it had to have been, what was her name? Effie?
Yeah, SRF, I don't remember the rest.
what did you guys do? Like, don't get me wrong. I understand if you had to do something, but what happened?
We went to get food. It wasn't even anything insane. We are whispering this, which I know sounds just as bad.
Yeah. Of course.
I just don't want to try and whisper into the mic.
Yeah. You're whispering. Yeah.
Mhm. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the officers that brought us in are likely controllers. And
fuck.
Y'all specifically know that the female officer here, y'all have encountered her a couple of times before, but she was the one in front of the bookstore that was looking for the dog after the dugout explosion at the baseball field. Like, looking for Dimitri. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one that wanted to find dog Dimitri. I'm not sure about him, but we can assume. I have no idea what the others are doing. I imagine Riley is mounting some sort of plan. But do we want to try to escape this? We're completely visible, right? To like
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't that kind of make it pretty obvious?
That's true.
I mean,
if there is one thing that I haven't tried yet. If we get a chance to be alone, or at least unseen, I can turn into a yerk.
That's right.
If we don't have any oatmeal at the moment, but if I turn into one and you put me in her head, I might be able to push the other one out. And then as a cop, I guess I could release us.
What about...
That feels pretty wrong, but...
what about if it comes to it, go in my ear, then they can't possess me either, hopefully? Maybe?
Yeah. I'll try.
That one dude was able to transform, so theoretically you should be okay if I transform after that.
As long as you don't turn into anything smaller than... that has a brain cavity smaller than what the yerk is.
I do not think Tony would think of that, but he probably wouldn't go with the cat or the little tiny bird.
The cat would be fine, but the bird would not. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have options. I say right now, maybe we just try to pay attention, observe, and, well, trust that the girls are smarter than us. Well, Riley.
I mean, Effie seems like she's... I don't really know what's up with her, but honestly, I just hope she doesn't break in if she decides to rescue us and just, like, start killing people. But other than that, I don't think she'd necessarily do a bad job.
I guess we're just gonna have to trust and hope. So how do we acquire knowledge?
Yeah, that's a thing, eh? Again, there's people in here, including the two cops. There is, like, there are people in the cages. There's, like, literally things that you can observe, things like that, which is a really good segue to do our gather information rolls. With gather information, this is what you do before the engagement rolls. And like I said, I will the way that you can gather information is you can just do a fortune roll, or you can use one of your skills. Like, you tell me how you're using your skill to get the information. And then there are, depending on what you roll, there are limits to what you get. 6 is great there's great, standard, and limited levels of information. And depending on what kind of information that y'all gather affects your engagement roll. So I will allow a gather information roll from the prison break group and one roll from the prison group themselves.
Cool.
Remember, the way that kind of Blades in the Dark runs with its engagements is that you're not really supposed to plan. Like, you kind of live in the moment of the engagement, right? Like, and that's why we have the flashback mechanic that you can, I have this exact thing that I needed for this exact moment, for this reason, sort of thing, right? And you get to tell me the flashback. I'll tell you how much it costs you stress-wise, depending on what it is, and that can help you. But that's, again, once the engagement happens. But yeah, we're still, like I said, still in the gather information section, part of this session. So, who would the outside crew or the inside crew like to go first?
We can go first.
Yeah. Who would like to do gather information? How would you like to gather the information?
My thought was surveying or studying where the cameras are, and where cops may be placed currently, the best route for Effie to take to be seen.
Okay, absolutely. And survey would in fact be a really good roll for that if you wanted to use your survey.
My survey's not great. Is yours any better?
My survey is 0. Yours is better than mine.
I have a 1 because of my crow. I could do study. Would study give me significantly worse?
Study would also be perfectly fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do study then, because that gives me 2.
And again, you can push yourself. You can have an assist, a teamwork from your Andalite friend.
Be 2 crows.
Yeah, you could be 2 crows. The assist, the way that it works, if you wish to assist Effie, you would take a single stress, that would give an extra die. You could also do a devil's bargain to also add an extra die. And they stack. You could do all of them.
If Effie is willing to assist on this for a stress, then I will, we could do that.
It's the grand kitty.
It is. This is the oldest cat. She, in fact, had disappeared for a couple days. We thought she had let herself out to do the thing. And no, she had just run off to be bad in the middle of the storm. I missed her so
As one
much.
does. Is Effie going to offer an assist to...
Yeah, if we're going to let's do the 2 crows thing.
Yeah.
Awesome. That'll give me 3.
And go ahead and mark stress Effie on your sheet.
One of them was a 6. It was actually the one I picked up as the assist die, so thank you.
Amazing. You get great and exceptional details, complete information. So, you get 2 questions, and I have to answer them truthfully. What are your questions?
What is the best route for Effie to take to be seen is the first question.
In vehicle, right? The best route to be seen would, because it is late at night, you're gonna have a lower. Most of the patrol cars would be are physically out, with just a couple of people inside of the building. Honestly, the best way to be seen is to park in front of the building and like shine the lights inside of it. Like, you will guarantee be seen that way.
Okay.
Like,
Then second question. Is there a feasible escape route for Effie to take that we can identify it beforehand?
a feasible escape route in the car or outside of the car?
Effie has never driven before, so outside of the car.
Yeah, so a feasible escape route.
Maybe someplace that she could duck into and morph, or something like that.
So one of the interesting things about the police station is that it is about a block away from the river. So she could feasibly run behind the station and jump into the river. There's a levee that she would have to go over. But the likelihood of someone just going after her swimming, very low.
I think we'll fly that route a couple times.
Yeah.
Just so we can make sure
Absolutely.
Effie knows.
Mhm. How do y'all feel about essentially that?
Oh, that absolutely works for me. Effie is very much allowing Riley to take the lead on this one, set the plans. Mostly, she's mentally walking through the instructions on how to drive again, because it's not a very difficult concept.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very simplistic machine, and also I only have 2 legs, and I keep forgetting sometimes.
And here's like the interesting thing is that all you really technically have to do is drive it into the parking lot. Like, I'll still have you roll whenever that happens, but to see how it goes, because things can go wrong. But you don't have to like drive it all the way from the hideout like to into the city and into the station, right? Like, Riley could feasibly drive the car as close as you needed to get there, and then you get in and thus drive, right?
With my face covered. You could
Yeah.
softly crash it into the police station to really get their attention.
Yeah, this is true.
I definitely don't have like 3
Mhm.
terrible plans depending on how badly my dice go.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so y'all did y'all information roll. The boys, I need y'all. Who's doing the gather information roll? And is it a fortune roll or y'all using a skill?
We were just trying to figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we're going to do a skill roll, and I think it's going to be me rolling.
Okay.
But would Tony be willing to help?
100%.
All right.
Cool.
Which is 2 stress, I believe, right?
1 stress for the assist.
1 stress for helping.
Mhm.
That's right.
I want to sway one of the other prisoners, maybe on the other side of the bars or what have you,
Mhm.
to try to get a little bit of information out of them. Nelson, I realized that's the first time I said your new name. I'm sorry.
Yep. No worries.
Yeah. But what do you think is more important? Getting information about the layout of the facility, or getting information on who all works with this police officer lady? Because those are the most likely to be.
I think layout, because we kind of just are going to assume all the police officers have been infected at this juncture.
Fair.
We can't really hope otherwise, I don't think.
Right.
But you take it.
Then yeah, looking for the most, whoever looks like they've been here the most often, that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to talk to him.
Go ahead and roll. What are you using a skill?
Yes, I'm using sway.
Nice.
I could use command at the same number, but I'm trying to be nice nowadays.
Yeah. Go ahead and make that roll for me, please.
Oh, that's 2 6s.
Critical.
Wow.
I love it. All right. So there
I think I'm-
is right next to you guys, there is a group of men who have clearly been in the bar. They are drunk off their mind, right? So they are loose-lipped, and in fact, they're not even speaking English. They're speaking French. But they can speak English, but they're speaking French. And one of them, probably about 19 to 22 years old, kind of looks over you as you're like motioning me like, hey, what you want, kid? This bullshit right here. We gotta go to work in the morning. We gotta get to the Gulf and get to the port and go on the rig. And they got all the rig workers right here in here for some reason. How are we supposed to put gas in our car, in your car, in their car, if we all out there in the Gulf working? You tell me that.
Man, you're right. I don't know how these police officers think the city's gonna run without you guys doing your jobs right. You guys, I swear, these police officers, they don't know what they're doing, right, Tony?
Yeah, fuck the cops, pigs, couchon. Like, they start cursing at the cops, and the cops are just trying, like, not to say anything. But yeah, you learn just from this information that they have picked up an entire rig crew.
This happen to you guys often? You guys get pulled in?
No, this don't happen to us here in this town, but I mean, sometimes it's just kind of weird that they got all of us. You know what I mean?
What were you guys even doing? What'd you get in trouble for? Just having too much fun?
Loitering, public intoxication.
I'm trying to see how to word this.
These are some deep water Cajuns. They are not local. like their English is kind of bad. some bayou roughnecks.
You know, the cops around here, they do that thing, Hobby. They probably brought them here to do that.
Do that thing? What?
With the ear?
Man, they better not touch my ear. That's kind of weird. I don't like nobody touching my ear. That's just for Janice. Sometimes Melanie.
Yeah, around these parts, for some reason, they've taken to like swabbing people's ears.
Man, why they gotta swab that? Do they think we got some kind of hurricane disease, some kind of oil disease? I don't know. Like, it's listen. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. All right. It is. You see T Mike over there. He points to some guy, like sitting on the bench. T Mike there's a geologist. He might not look smart, but him the smartest one. He went not just to college. He went to the university. He graduated from LSU And then he went somewhere up north, got something, came back here, and he's putting his time and his money back in our community, right? Okay, listen. This man licks rocks for a living. Did you know geologists lick rocks to tell what kind of rock it is? He gave me one rock and it tastes like peanut butter. But anyway, you gotta have them. And that's how I learned that limestones apparently taste like peanut butter. But then, or sandstone, I don't know. I don't remember. He made me lick some rocks though. But then, okay, so we out on the rig, right? And we kind of digging kind of deep. A little deep. And so we had to come back. And they sent us here to come back for some reason. I don't know. Well, what it is that our friend T Mac, okay, T Mac is from here. And T Mac said, you know what? Let's go to my town. Y'all don't need to go back to Shreveport. Y'all don't need to go back to Houma or Lake Charles. No one needs to be in the truck. We're going to be here. And so we're here. And now we're just going back to do our job now that we finish hitting whatever we hitting. Like, I'm worried about it's gonna blow up. Like, if we, like, that rig was not looking good. Like, I thought it was gonna blow up when we left, but it's not gonna. But apparently it's not gonna. I don't know. But anyway, we all came here. The boss sent us here, you know, T-Mac, to hang out, to party. We had a free place to stay, which is super fucking nice. Let me tell you, that's a nice shit. Like, that's a Holiday Inn. That new Holiday Inn, it's nice. But now we're here, and they said they're gonna let us go in the morning, but after we're not drunk. But that does not fair, because you see, T John over there is not drunk. T John don't drink; he's sober. And T John just kind of waves. Like, so I don't know what none of this means. But I don't like it.
Get your
they
phone call?
Some shit. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah, did they give you your phone call? If they haven't given you your phone call, you should really harass them until they give you your phone call. It's your legal right. Can I get the attention of the geologist?
Yeah. T Mike is like, yeah.
Isn't there like a lawyer for your company? You can yell at them. They're just like local. I'm like, you guys seem important. The cops around here, they're like local dudes. I feel like if you get someone important to call them up and yell at them, they probably would let you go.
I made the phone call. Well, T-John made the phone call because I had too many tequila shots. T-John made the phone call, and they said just wait it out. It's public intoxication, and we'll be out at like 8 a.m. And, you know, they'll come get us in the truck, and we're gonna go back down to New Orleans and get back on the boat to get to the rig.
You know, if you don't mind me asking, my mom's an engineer, and I've started to kind of try to decide where I'm going in my life, and what are you guys actually looking for? It sounds extremely interesting.
Bro, we're looking for oil.
Right.
We work for BP.
Okay.
What are your official questions that you're asking? You do get 2 questions, and I have to answer them truthfully. That after this scene, what is the information that you need? Mm-hmm.
Well, I wanted to know the layout. If anyone here seemed like they were a regular, but it sounds like these guys are all first timers in this particular prison.
Yeah, they are. In this prison,
they can tell you where the phone is, and if any of them saw like other entrances and exits.
Yeah. Except for T-Mac. T-Mac is from here.
T-Mac.
T-Mac, right. Like a T-M-A-C, because his name is Malcolm. But for some reason, Cajuns like to put T in front of names, so there's T-Mike, T-John, T-Mac,
gotcha.
T-Daryl.
Well, in that case, if I can talking to T-Mac at some point, I think I'd ask, you know, if he does know any, you know, anything about the layout of this place in a way that isn't so completely, you know, weird to ask. And I think this sounds like they're being brought in because they are a potential power source. And I think I want to ask something along the lines of like like who in the chain in the chain of like power structure is in charge of like of their facility of who digs where and does what, because if they're being infected, that person is probably the next target.
So from the stuff that you have
T-Max.
gathered, and you kind of, and T-Mac is in there, and he has been rather quiet the whole time. And see, now my accent's just going to be out the entire game. It's fine. He's been quiet the whole time, and he's just sitting off to the side. Him and John, T-John, and you already heard that T-John was sober, but so is T-Mac. And you sort of look at them, and because you rolled a crit, they don't seem worried. And they seem like they might have orchestrated people to be here for a reason.
Okay.
After all, the last entrance to the Yerk pool was destroyed.
Okay. So they're trying to make another little home. Interesting.
And because of the crit, Mac and John are definitely controllers. For sure. And they want to infest their entire crew, and they know that this is the best way to infest them. And there is a good chance that y'all are just being planned on being infested tonight as well. I'll give you that, and now you can also answer another question.
Any other ideas, guys? Question wise?
Yeah, if Tony has one too, like Tony.
Heck, are there just bathrooms in our cells, or is this more of the like drunk, like the?
There are more bathrooms,
Okay.
and Tony, you are a minor.
Mm-hmm.
And as a minor, you are legally required not to pee in front of adults. You and Javier are technically minors. So y'all are guaranteed privacy by rights.
That is useful.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think if there was any other. No, I can't. The only other thing I would have wanted, I don't think we can get from talking to these people. So,
What's the question?
y'all,
there was a crit,
yeah.
so I'm
Okay,
willing to kind of give some leeway.
The other idea of what we could talk about is if other like, they wouldn't. How many cops might be coming in later?
I will. Nobody knows, but from where you're standing, you can see, on the other side of the room, probably close to the bathroom, you can see the shift spreadsheet.
Oh, that was going to be my question if we didn't talk to people, actually.
You can't read it from where you're standing,
yeah.
But if you were to get out after the engagement, you would most likely be able to read it.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm. With that, I think we can roll into the engagement roll. Now, depending on how well things go, with the questions for the engagement, it depends on how many dice y'all get. I would. Husband! Is there snacks? There's a glass. There's a whole ass thing of kombucha. And there's real
That's
fruit
a whole
gummies.
ass.
Yay!
Thanks. I will get to this in a minute because we'll do the engagement roll and then we'll go on our break. Thank you. I love you. Aww. He's so cute. I love my husband. Alright, so because Arnica has never rolled an engagement roll before, how do you feel about doing the engagement roll?
Hear me? No, you can't hear me. All right, there we go.
All
I
right.
found my mute button. All right, so sure, let's do that. Walk me through it. What are rolls?
Alright, so things with the engagement roll. Alright, you have the base fortune, and everyone answers these questions. You have the base fortune of 1 dice. Okay? So, and we will go through a list of questions that if the answers are yes to them, you get an extra dice to the roll. So the first question is this operation particularly bold or daring?
Yes.
I would say y'all are breaking the law. Definitely. And it is Yerk infested. So yeah, I'd say it is. Do the plans detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hits them where they're the weakest? No. Do you have any friends or contacts that provide aid or insight?
I mean, Riley showed me how to drive the stolen car. I feel like that counts.
It would have to be beyond your core group, right?
I
you
was
know I don't have no
hoping,
friends,
but I'm
I'm a
pretty
blue
sure we're
alien.
gonna have to. Oh, sorry.
It's fine. You were making
Yeah.
a decent point, and I was screaming, "I have no friends. I'm a blue alien." So that's all we're gonna do.
No, my only point was that we aren't. I don't think they're allies yet, but I was hoping to try and involve our drunk
the drunk
acquaintances. But
rig workers, the oil rig workers. Not quite.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
target is in fact a lower tier than y'all because y'all are up a tier now. So add a third dice. No district modifiers. Now, those are your advantages. You have a total of how many? 3 dice now?
3d6.
Alright, so now I get to go through another set of questions to see if you have any disadvantages. And for every disadvantage, you take away a dice. So, is this operation overly complex and contingent of many factors? No. It's really honestly not. So you're good. Is a target strong against this approach? Have particular defenses or preparations? Honestly, they probably do not expect you to just crash a car into their fucking police station. So no. Are there enemies or rivals interfering in the operation? No. And we've already established that the target is a lower tier. And they do not have any district modifiers, and that's just because we don't run the district mechanic in this particular skin. So, you have 3 dice to roll. And depending on what you get for your dice is how the engagement will start. So, go ahead. If you
All right.
roll all 3.
So 3d6, I got a total of 12, a 4, a 5, and a 3.
So the 4 or the 5 is the highest. Right. So
Yeah.
you get mixed results. You're in a risky position when the action starts. And the action will start after the break. All right, we will be back in about 10 minutes, y'all. So get your snacks, get your bios, all that good stuff. And yeah, see you soon. And we're back. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We have done the engagement roll for this session. Now, officially in the action here in Blades in the Dark. And I will say that the first scene of this is still in the prison. And it is the male cop that is in the prison opening the jail cell to the people in the oil rig and going, all right, Jonathan Broussard, time for the drug test, as they are going to slowly begin drug testing the prisoners here.
Can I just kind of be a pest? Hey, we haven't even had a chance to use a bathroom or anything. Like, what's going on? We are minors. This is highly unethical, illegal, likely. I believe we need to be escorted professionally. Do you mind?
Make a roll.
Yeah.
You're in a risk. What are you rolling?
Command, because I'm trying to harness my inner Karen.
All right. You are in a risky position, and you're. I will say that it is a 1 second. Just getting the effects up real quick. Player seats a goal. Player chooses an action rating. GM sets position, which is risky, and your effect level will be standard.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Using command, you said, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just starting off. I'm not gonna push myself yet. This is the first roll. Let's just let it ride. Cool. 5 and a 2, so that's
a 5.
All
right.
Yeah.
You do it and suffer a complication. The guy stops and he's like, you know what? I need a drug test from you anyway. Wait there, Jonathan Broussard. And he's like, come on, I'll take you to the extra secure bathroom. And he opens the gate for you to, like, no fear, like, no complications whatsoever, to escort you to the bathroom. Not the one that's in there, though. And in the back for drug testing.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna give Tony a wink and be on my way.
Tony, are you doing anything real quick?
Extra secure. Yes, actually. Sorry, I did think.
Yep.
I actually have to pee too. Can I, if you're doing the drug test, can I just use the loo? Like, you guys know where my family is and shit.
Go ahead and roll.
Go anywhere.
Oh man, I'm just a poor white boy. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Exactly.
Testing the brown
I will be
guy.
using consort.
You know my dad.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 6.
All right. There is like a sigh, but normally you would have to have someone of the same sex escort you for the drug testing, but they are not. You know what? It's like, yeah, we'll just take it's just at a risky position. It just says you do it. So absolutely. Come on. Both of you.
Great.
It's like, both of you then. Come on. Let's go. And he looks at the female officer. It's like, you got this? And she's like, yeah. Don't worry, I got it. It's not like you can get in trouble after they're tested anyway. Because you know they can't drug test you without your parents present. But they also don't care.
Interesting.
What's going on outside?
Y'all making my life so hard.
We're protecting people from getting infected, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You know what? All right, so Effie and Riley are parked in the car around the corner, and
My face is covered.
Yep, you got a ski mask. Or some pantyhose, honestly. It's just pantyhose.
We bought them in bulk last season.
That's right. Some backlavas. Mm-hmm.
And Effie is... You know what? Here's the thing. Effie is not in the strain. Honestly, Effie's not even that great a morpher. Like, she's not bad, but she's... Quite frankly, she is the least experienced and probably least qualified morpher of this entire group. Not that she will ever tell anyone that.
Mm-hmm.
So she is going in straight Javier.
Mm-hmm.
The best she's managed to do is mess up his hair.
I will say this is...
so that it looks different.
Yeah. Real quick, this is an opportune time if you wanted to initiate a flashback mechanic to where you can say, on the way here, maybe you found a person that was asleep on the street. Like, that's like an example, and you were able to acquire them. Like, and then you tell me what the flashback is to be prepared in this moment. I tell you how much stress it's worth. It could be 0, but it could be a couple of other things. And you can make a roll for it during the flashback as well to sort of help with things. But it's all part of the action.
Let's see. Riley, do you want us to have tried to make the attempt for Effie to try to mix 2 people?
Do you have that skill?
No, make an ugly baby.
Okay.
That's
then...
why I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, if you mechanically
skills last minute.
If you mechanically don't have that skill, then
Can I offer something?
Yeah, what's up?
I do have that skill. I'm not saying she could use it, but maybe with a roll. Maybe I showed her at some point in the flashback. Like, you should learn how to do this so that you're not just me all the time. Just I don't know, just an idea.
Because my idea was a marker drawing on some facial hair that in the dark will look convincing enough.
Just something ridiculous. I've done a terrible bad hairstyle. We've put on like a...
You could have just shaved his whole head.
Piercing. It's gonna grow back. Ear piercing.
It would grow back. Or a nose piercing.
Yep.
I'm rocking a mohawk on Javier's head. It's crooked.
Actually, piercings would actually be really good because Javier doesn't have those.
Mm-hmm.
That
I'm
would
sorry,
be
Effie.
hilarious because just know that.
And I know Riley's smart enough to think of it.
I tried to kick with legs I don't have.
I would say to change your appearance in Morph Effie, to shave your head and to give the back seat nose piercing. Which, you know what?
I was just gonna do it with a needle.
Riley knows. That's what I meant. It's like Riley knows what's up. Y'all got an ice cube, right?
It'll heal. We don't have to worry about infection.
Y'all stopped at Claire's on the way here. It's fine. Y'all could. Everything was dark. You probably couldn't get it at Claire's, but you probably just picked up a fucking hog ring like in the forest. It'll be 2 stress, but y'all can split it amongst each other for that. Because y'all are both essentially performing something that will cause pain. But I still would like a roll to see how that turns out from either of you.
Could I use finesse?
Finesse to give Effie a haircut and a nose
And piercings
piercing.
without
Mhm.
stabbing her in the jugular.
You can. You can do that. Roll finesse.
I like the idea. Of going to Claire's because a 17-year-old, almost 18-year-old brown kid just like, pierce my nose, please.
There is a 6 in there.
Okay. It's great. Effie, it hurts.
Yeah, it hurts. What the fuck?
But y'all both take extra stress for that particular flashback. And yeah, y'all are you're pierced. You're wearing the exact
and
same
nose.
clothes. That your that you wore. Hold on.
That's hilarious because the only thing I was wearing that night was a pair of basketball shorts.
Yep, that's exactly what you wear, and you're shirtless with a pair of basketball shorts, and you're barefoot.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Fresh piercing, still bloody. You're tweaking hard.
Oh yeah, no. You don't. So
Listen, I would even say that y'all got some baby powder, and you just like put it on the face.
I don't know why my face has been powdered, but I have accepted a powdered face. It is
Make sure they see you. I'll be watching from above.
all right. So Effie's hands are shaking, but she's trying to look like they're not. She lets Riley get out the car. She slides across the inside seat. You know, there were still a couple bench seats hanging around in 98. Scooch across. 10 and 2.
All right.
This leg, this foot. Go.
It's an automatic. So, luckily enough for that, you put it into drive. Riley, you left and you became a crow, right?
Crow would be smartest. Eagle would be good if there's trouble, but a crow will be hidden.
It's up to you.
I'm going to go eagle and stay in a tree.
Eagle and stay in a tree. All right.
Yeah.
You don't have great night vision, but you do have really good binocular vision, and it is the downtown core, so there is a lot of light. I will have Riley start because you were just morphing. You will be at a 0 on your clock starting off this scene, but Effie, I'm going to put you at a 1 because you've been in morph for a little while. I know, Riley, you have 8. Do you have 8 or 6, Effie? To your clock.
Okay, so that's hilarious. I don't actually know where on the sheet my clock is.
You can kind of put it. It's kind of just something you would keep up with it. Did you take any of the abilities to? You did not take an ability to increase it, so you have 6 ticks to your clock.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So have 1 filled out, so you have 5 left, and that's for your 2 hours in morph. If you fill it up before you turn back, it resets, obviously, when you morph out, but, you know, you have the potential of being trapped if you stay in Javier too long. You know what? I'm here for that alternate universe.
You'll be like the Parent Trap, but terrible.
And with that, I'm gonna have. Did I get a follow or a donation? I did. I got the follow. Thank you. With that, what are you doing, Effie?
All right. So Riley has really kind of aimed the car. All I have to do is keep my foot on the gas, tear ass down the street, through the parking lot, and maybe hit the building. I guess that'll depend on how I roll, whether or not I hit the building.
So here, I'm going to give you some details about this vehicle real quick before you hit the gas. It is a 1989 Toyota Camry station wagon. There are no airbags. And it does have electric windows. The seat belt, there is a lap belt and the automatic when you close the door. Those are the details. Do you put on your lap belt?
Yes, because Tony fastened me in, so I know that that is something that must happen for the car to run.
Gotcha. All right.
I think it's part of the ignition sequence. Your goal is to ram into the police station. Yeah, my goal is to make a fucking I've been told to make a spectacle of myself.
Yeah.
I've got this.
So, God, he gave me fucking real fruit gummies. I will not eat anything for the rest of the day. I'm addicted. I don't eat a lot of sweet things or candy, but you put gummies in front of me, holy fucking shit. I'm throwing those out of arm's reach. Alright, so very particularly, finesse is the role. Normally I don't tell you what to roll, but for operating vehicles, it is finesse. You have one tick in that. You have the option to increase that. You can do it by pushing yourself. You would take 2 stress if you pushed yourself. You can... that is your option. Interesting enough, you're in human morph, or Javier morph specifically. Every morph gets an extra tick in a skill. Is there anything that have you chosen what you're giving your human morph?
Yeah, in fact, the study tick that's under my insight is actually my Javier tick.
Okay, so just put that. You don't put that. Put it next to Javier. Study. Okay. Right. Well, you're not. So you don't get the extra for being Javier because we're using finesse here. But the options are: you push yourself for 2 stress, and you get an extra dice. The other option is you take a devil's bargain. Now, you get to hear the bargain before it's taken, say yes or no. But if you say yes, even if you fail, you suffer the consequences of the bargain. Would you like to go with one, or would you like to go with any other options?
We're going to... So let's see. I've got a 1 in finesse, and if I push myself and take the 2 extra stress, I get 1 extra dice?
1 extra dice.
All right.
You can also get an extra dice with the devil's bargain. You don't have to take stress.
And I'm used to being stressed out. Call me Redestro. I love that stress. All right.
Shit. You can do both. I would also like to point out, and thus have 3.
I'm good. You know what? The devil can wait a little bit. I know you're like, please let me see what this Andalite will do for her soul. And the answer is not today. Not today, Satan.
It might not be Satan, but...
Space Satan.
It might not be Space Satan, is what I'm saying.
I know that's what you're saying. I'm telling you, Space Satan. All right, so let me go ahead and roll my 2d6. Yeah, I got a 10. I got a 6 and a 4.
All right, so you got a 6. That's the important thing. So you do it. So describe to me how you do it. Just however you want this to be. It's going to happen. And you're going to be fine. But it's going to happen.
So when Tony and I were in the car, Tony didn't play any music, but Riley turned on the radio on the way here. So I now know that this thing makes noise. It's not great noise. In fact, I really just like a whole bunch of the noise it was making on the way here. For lo, Korn dropped an album in 1998. And most of it was bad, but then bagpipes. Effie loved them bagpipes. They called to her. And it's playing again, so she turns it up loud, so loud, too loud. Puts the windows down, 10 and 2, and literally slams her foot as hard as she can on the gas. The car lurches across the road. I don't know to watch for oncoming traffic. I barely managed to avoid getting T-boned. People are slamming on the horns. The spectacle has begun. It's going perfectly. I come tear-assing through the cop shop parking lot. I whip the car around at the last minute so that the tail end of it hits the building right there where the windows are and smashes one of the big plate glass windows. I wasn't expecting the impact to be quite as hard as it was. I'm in a spaceship. Those things are beautifully cushioned. Fuck you. All right, the peanut gallery is judging me. So smash the edge of the window, and as all the cops are flooding out, I jump out looking like a coked up Javier and throw my hands in the air and go, ah! Like, just stick my tongue out, ah! And I scream, and I asked Riley specifically what was the best thing to scream to make them all follow me. And Riley told me that I should stand there and scream, fuck some pigs. So I stand there and scream, fuck some pigs, and I throw something and turn around and book it for the river.
What do you throw?
I don't know. I throw the first thing that I found in the first fairly heavy thing that I found in the car.
Riley, what's the heaviest thing in the car? It's your car.
That's a good question. Yeah, because I feel like we would have emptied it out because we wouldn't want to give up like all of our oatmeal and all of that. What
Is
is
your
in there?
instrument in there?
Sir.
Well, I know that in the back seat of my station wagon, which had the old pull-up floor panel, we used to keep a toolbox. And so there was always, even if the toolbox came out, a spare wrench or two just rattling around in the bottom.
That's what I was thinking. One of those lug nut wrenches.
Y'all can roll a flashback again and have whatever the fuck you want in the car. It could be a brick. It could be a crowbar.
I think just one of those long lug nut wrenches for the spare tire.
You just throw a wrench. I like it. I want another roll for you throwing the wrench, though.
All right.
And like while she's making that roll, and you pick whatever skill you want to use to roll, and I'll tell you the effect of that. But Tony and Javier, y'all haven't made it like very far. You're out of the cell, and y'all are being escorted down a hall when y'all hear like the screeching of tires and something crashing into the police station, and all of the Cajuns are like screaming. And the officer, like, looks at both of you and holds his gun. And he goes, like, points it at you, his pistol. And he goes, back into the cell, now. Blocking your way to where he was leading.
Right. How far did we go down?
There is... I would say it's probably like a 30-foot hall, and y'all are like 20 feet and 10 feet from where y'all were going, 20 till after.
Okay, so are we out of view of the people and stuff?
Yes.
Can I roll a survey to see if we're out of view of cameras?
Yes.
Okay, cool beans.
Okay. Real quick, when you do that, what is the roll for the wrench?
Got 2 5s.
2 5s, and what did you roll it with?
I rolled it with wreck.
You rolled it with wreck? Yeah, that's what I figured, and that would give you a standard effect. There is a consequence to you rolling it with a 5, but And the consequence is you step on a piece of glass because you're barefoot as you start running, so there is a little bit, so you're not as fast, and there's not a lot of police officers that are coming out. There are probably 3, including that female officer, that was in the front. So, but you're running, and now we'll get the survey roll.
5 and a 6, so
A 6, there are cameras.
so they can see me.
Yes.
Okay.
There are cameras. That's a 6. So, there are cameras. You notice they're unplugged.
Sweet business.
That's
Can
good.
I ask one last thing regarding like what's going on? He's pointing his gun at me.
You and Tony.
Tony's
Yeah.
also here.
Yeah. You and
Yep.
Tony are
And
both there because he rolled to go with you and he rolled a 6. And it's, you do it. Like,
Right. And is the other cop there? It's just the one cop, right?
Just the one cop. Yeah.
I'm going to reach out and acquire this gentleman to make him stop
Son
for
of
a
a
moment.
bitch, I was gonna say
Oh
something.
my. Okay. Reaching out. Yeah, you're gonna reach out to him.
Mhm.
What are you rolling for that?
I was going to roll skirmish,
Okay.
as I figure I just need to touch him. So, although I probably am just going to go ahead and try and punch him in the face because it's just as easy as trying to grab his hand.
Yep.
And that way, if I fuck up the other part, I at least
This
punched him in
will
the face.
have right. You're still risky. Depending on
Mhm.
how this goes, it can become standard or desperate. But you will have a limited effect on this one, just because there is a pistol that is loaded, and it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
cop. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's a cop with a yerk in his head. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean, so at least they'll have some impulse control, is what you're saying?
Yeah, a little. Well, it depends on how. I don't know. Like, what kind of yerks do you think want to infest cops? Like,
Yeah.
probably the
You
cops.
want some help, Tony?
Yeah, that'd be great.
All right, take the assist.
Yeah.
And I think I'm gonna go ahead and make a deal with the devil here.
All right.
Fine,
Is that we do I have to do that can I do that before or after the roll or just before?
Here you can. You get to hear the deal first.
Okay.
And then you decide whether or not you want to take it. I need you to just tell me evens or odds.
Odds.
You see, and you know what, Javier? You also see it. Landing on the barrel, like right at the barrel of this gun, you see that nasty red wasp. And normally this wasp, this hornet, is focused on you, but it is focused on Tony. And it's like, hello, Tony. I didn't expect this from you. I'll help. But if I do, and there's this buzz in the air, you don't get to go home.
Yeah, he takes it.
2 seconds.
Because Tony makes bad.
Yeah,
friends.
2 seconds, y'all. The stream is just having a burp.
Oh no.
Yep.
We're gonna have to talk about Satan, I guess.
Yep, OBS burp. Just a quick one there. It's been a long time since my internet has burped on me.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
all
we're also
weird.
like frozen over right now, so
Yep.
Let me go ahead and refresh.
It's trying to catch up. It's sure.
Yeah.
back
That didn't
and
really
forth.
help my light that much.
Ooh, it almost
No.
caught up. It had us for a minute.
I just refreshed on my end, and it looks like it's catching up. On OBS, I'm in the green, so
Refresh and see.
my
looks like
recording is
we're-
good at the very least.
It looks like we're mostly back to normal.
Yeah, it looks like we're back. Thanks, Fairy Mods, doing their job and letting me know, because I'm not staring at OBS whenever I run a game compared to just playing and producing.
Come on, cat.
So to repeat the deal, the bargain that is given is I will help you. Crayak has established that he will help Tony, but the deal is that Tony does not get to go home.
Come on, cat.
Come on, cat. And does Tony take the deal?
Yeah. Tony does take the deal.
He does
because
take the
Tony had
deal.
been-
Cross!
Tony had been considering pretending to be an Andalite and taking Javier hostage.
All right, so go ahead and roll your skirmish.
Indeed. 1-6. Damn it. 6 and a 5. I was hoping for the second.
You did get a 6. So what a 6 means is you do it.
Yeah.
You clock, like, he is not expecting you, Tony. Because in their little minds, in the by infesting this cop, probably this cop knows your family, probably knows you have family in the law. You're a well-known family. I think you own all the Texacos or something. I'm not sure. But, you clock this man in the face. The gun goes off.
Mhm.
And, I need you to roll a defense body, please.
Of course. That is going to be 3 dice. 6 on one of the first 2, so I'm not even going to roll the third.
Excellent. So, you could have a critical. And if you
Oh,
have a
that's true.
critical, it clears.
No.
Okay. The gun goes off and it misses both of y'all and it ricochets and it kind of bounces. But luckily, like, y'all are both like, holy shit. And it misses. Actually, Javier, I need you to roll a body too because it is a ricochet and you're in the room in a hallway. So, I know.
That was fine.
I know.
I was ready to get shot today. 6 and a 3, so that's good for
Yeah,
me.
that
Oh, that's very
means
good.
that you do not take the bullet either. Because the way that these resistance roll, it starts at 6. Whatever you roll, it deletes the resistance from the damage, which is the stress, or the injury. And yeah, y'all do not take it. Like it ricochets. He still has the gun, but you have clocked him and you have dazed him, Tony.
Yeah.
What's the plan? The two of you. And we're gonna sit here for one more roll from either of y'all on whatever y'all are gonna do, and then we'll switch to the next scene.
Oh, here. Try to grab his gun.
Yeah, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna
which
acquire
I'll
him?
assist with. We'll get to that, hopefully.
Well, just because if you acquire him, he's frozen for like 3 seconds.
He's already stopped. Just we're
Okay.
good on that part.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Are you gonna
What
try
would be
to
to,
get
like-
the gun?
Yeah. Skirmish or finesse?
It's what you want.
I think I want to show Tony the fruits of our labors and do a little skirmish.
All right. I will. Yeah. It is a. You're now at a standard effect. Y'all are still risky, but it's still standard.
And Tony's assisting, so add a die.
Okay. And just remember, every time you assist, you gotta mark that stress.
Yep. Back up to 3.
Shit. All right. 3, 4, and a 6.
All right. A 6 is a success. You manage to wrangle the pistol from him as he is... Tony's a football player. He's used to hitting people.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what he does.
Like, in fact, this is exactly what Tony is useful. He just wrecks some shit, bro. Like, and he's in a position now where, Tony, you could subdue him to acquire. And there are no cops in the building as we go outside. At Effie running her coked out ass, her pretend with the blood just trailing like from the glass behind you. And you do have a small injury, which will of course heal. And that it's just a level 1 injury, glass in a foot. So you can, and it didn't stay in your foot, it just cut the bottom of your foot. So you're running. There's towards the river. And there are 4 police officers chasing you.
As I approach the bank of the river, I begin to unmorph out of Javier.
Mm-hmm.
I don't let it be enough to take me off my feet, but it's enough that I am visibly changing shape.
Gotcha.
I'm letting myself be seen. And I don't know. Hopefully my ass goes bright fucking blue. All they see is my blue moon. As I say.
Do you just like rip your shorts off as well?
I do, because here's the thing. I'm an Andalite. I'm not a great swimmer because I have little hooves to begin with. So the fact that I'm willing to jump in the river at all is wild.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing I need to do is all of a sudden have 4 legs trapped inside pants built for 2 legs. Also, I don't wear pants. So no, I am both morphing and stripping. It is the most awkward. Javier, your body has never moved so awkwardly. Never
You'd be
before.
surprised.
Yeah, but no one's ever seen your ass turn blue right before it.
Well, they're watching your ass turn blue. Does anything other than the blueness happen? Like, do eye stalks or a tail comes out? Does the tail come out and that's what drops your drawers? Like,
I feel like I may pop 1 eye stalk.
Mm-hmm.
So so now all of a sudden I have 3 eyes, which is weird, but it's better than 2. Mm-hmm. And that one just turns around and looks at him as my head disappears under the water.
Okay. It is technically the cops outside's turn at this point, right? And they see this happening as they're chasing after you, and immediately you hear one of them scream, Andalite. And you are going to be shot at by, and I'm just going to have you roll the body resistance on this. I will allow an assist on this if Riley wants to dive into the head cop's face, the cop that's shooting. You can definitely see that there is one that is going to shoot. So I will allow an assist on that to get you an extra die on your resistance if you want.
All right, so rolling my body resistance again. That's rolling all my gray ones.
Yes.
Underbody.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. Are you assisting
Yeah.
Riley?
I was thinking that she doesn't think that, like, Javier should know better than to try and escape, and she's expecting the two of them just to sit tight. So she did follow Effie. And yeah, I think hearing the Andalite and knowing that Effie has taken a big risk for them, will dive down into these cops with all 8 feet of her wingspan and talons.
All right. So you get an assist on your resistance roll. So go ahead, because a bald eagle is diving, and it's fucking huge.
It is. All right, so I'm rolling 4d6.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what the absolute fuck is this? I got a 4, a 3, a 1, and a 1.
All right. So with the 4, go ahead and take 2 stress. To add to your, and let me know if you cap out on stress. You take 2 stress.
No, I got room for literally 1 more stress. These fucking cops shot me in my black ass.
Your blue ass.
Blue.
Black and blue ass. They shot me.
And it's gonna get super gross. But luckily for you, with this cop was aiming for the kill. And luckily for you, instead, but she aims when the eagle comes and she shoots, it goes up. So instead of going to the back of your skull, your eyeball gets blown off from your stalk.
Oh god.
She shot me in my eye.
Okay.
I'm so glad I ain't got a mouth, because now I can holler without drowning underwater.
I mean, you technically still have a mouth, so, because you haven't morphed it away.
God damn it, I don't know to keep my mouth shut underwater. I hope someone is willing to come rescue me, because just know that I freaked out and I opened my mouth and now I'm drowning, and someone shot me in my eye.
Well, I mean,
Don't go, I'm drowning.
Alright, so, let's go ahead. You have a level 2 injury now. Missing eye stalk. It is blown off. The foot injury is going to heal because you're getting clothes back from your Andalite body. So that injury is gone away. Now it is your turn, you and Riley's turn. So do y'all have any ideas about what you're going to do?
I am going to panic and drown. What are you going to do, Riley?
I mean, I hope you're going to continue going downstream, because I cannot help you as an eagle.
You cannot, I am too big.
So I do not want them firing into the water. So I'm going to try and fuck up some controllers.
What you doing?
What
What
did I
you rolling?
choose for eagle? Eagle is finesse. So yeah, I'm going to try and, with the grace of an eagle, try and fuck up some controllers.
Do you want to, with finesse, do you want to just try and grab the guns from their hands? You could get at least 2 of them.
That could be useful, yes.
Let's collect an armory.
Let's collect some guns!
Bald eagle stealing the guns.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel like they'd start shooting at the eagle.
It's illegal.
Yeah, y'all are still risky. I have not given y'all y'all haven't, failed epically for me to give y'all, y'all haven't critted for y'all to go to controls, but you haven't you haven't failed to go to desperate yet. I feel it's desperate, but mechanically it's not. So you're still at a risky position. With finesse, it's standard, so go right ahead.
Die. There's a 5 in there, thankfully.
All right, it is a success with you do it with a consequence. And all right, so how many guns are you? This is actually the consequence, is that you're only managed to grab 1 instead of 2. You have 2 talons. You're able to just grab the one of kind of like that main vehicle controller that was shooting before. The rest of them on their next turn would be shooting at you. So we'll get to that on their turn. Effie, do you have something that you want to do?
So I am mostly trying to get downstream. I'm trying to get both downstream and across the river to the other bank if possible. I'm trying to hippo my way across the bottom. I have no idea the density of Andalite, so I'm going to pretend like we're
So
in the water.
You might be having a hard time swimming. I will say that deer are excellent swimmers. It's up to you.
That's good.
Otherwise, you can swim as your Andalite to get to the other side of the river. And I would have to have a swimming roll. Whatever you want to roll for swimming. So.
Yeah, excellent swimmers. I haven't made it all the way back into Andalite yet. And I'm not in the stream. I don't think I can swap halfway and then...
Go ahead.
I gotta go all the way out.
Yeah, go ahead, going all the way out. Morphing is always associated with a tune. So if you want to roll in a tune to see how well you can maintain swimming as you demorph into your main, I will do that. Okay. Or you could roll skirmish to try and see how you could swim as you are.
Let's go ahead and it's one dice anyway, but let's go ahead and roll a tune to see if I am able to successfully still move forward, get myself out of the water while more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Oh no, what?
Nils. Little buddy. Little friend. Oh. You cussed out all them sixes, and now what do I keep rolling? I keep rolling ones. You got my eyes shot off, and now I'm gonna drown. I told y'all I was drowning. I was like, "You're not drowning. You're fine. Just roll." I rolled. It's one, and I'm drowning. It's fine.
So
I swear to God, that alligator jumped me.
That alligator jumps you. Yeah. I am gonna have you take the stress, and your stress is gonna reset. Depending on, make a body resistance for me to see if you can stay conscious.
Stress, body resistance. So that's 3. A 6, a 1, and a 1.
So you're able to stay conscious. However, you now have a trauma. Because that's what happens. And you are not going to make any more rolls for the night. You were taken out of the scene. Because the... I will say you will make it to the other side. But you have the trauma, and your trauma that you're gonna have. My first trauma of this, it took a while for everyone else to get traumas. This was supposed to be easy, y'all. And at this point, y'all are desperate. All rolls from this.
Oh, does she get an XP for body?
Huh?
Oh, sorry. Does she get an XP for her body resistance thingy there?
This it does, because I will say that it was a desperate roll for the resistance. So yes, she gets an XP for the body. Every desperate roll that you make becomes an experience point for that. So, real quick, your trauma. Am I on the Andalite? Yeah, I'm on the Andalite. Your trauma is that you are now You're afraid of water. Between this and the alligator, so you are officially paranoid about water. You are afraid to drown.
All right. Thanks so much.
Which is going to be great in future episodes. Like, these waters on this planet, man, they are just not safe. Luckily, attention is off of you, but you are taken out of the action. We're going to go inside and give the boys a round of turns here real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all doing? Y'all are in control. Tony you have a gun, and Tony is acquiring this human man. So he is tranced, and he will remain tranced as long as you are physically touching him, Tony. So Javier, you kind of have a choice about what you want to do here while this moment is happening.
Kill him, but get rid of the slug. I don't think we have another choice here.
I could try to get the yerk out of him. When he's back to normal, we might be able to get him to help.
You definitely hear the gunfires outside.
I don't know if we have time. But you have the gun.
Let me ask, if thinking back on everything, time with Riley, what do you think the chances are that she would be very sad if I killed someone right now? Hi? Yeah?
Wait, are you asking Tony?
Who are you asking?
Are you asking
I'm
Riley?
asking the
Are you
world.
asking the table?
I'm asking anyone with more experience than this boy.
Riley has the highest kill count.
What do you
of
mean
everyone.
again? Because none of y'all actually told Tony you killed anyone.
I think Riley has killed more people than everyone else here combined.
Yes.
So,
Wait, did you kill someone up there? This isn't the time.
Wait. I would also like to point out that there was the door that he was going to take you through.
Mm-hmm.
There's likely yerks back there. But they also might not be in anyone at the moment. This might be a good opportunity for us to get our own prisoners. Let's drag him into the room where we're supposed to be.
If there's people in there, they'll instantly attack us.
I've got a gun. I will shoot them.
Gun.
It might just at least give us some more time to figure
try.
out how to do this.
Tony's gonna try and knock the guy unconscious, but he is not a fighter, so he's just going to smash this guy's.
I mean, you were the Battleborn. You were literally the fighter.
Oh, I am, but I meant as a 16-ish year old kid, he doesn't necessarily know.
Not a martial artist.
I'm going to smash his face in.
You're gonna smash his face in. All right. Are you gonna smash it against the wall?
Yep.
Oh, I fucking love it. I love it whenever you get really violent as people and not as animals.
Yeah, trying to turn into a rhino right now seems like a poor decision.
Yeah.
Not that this is a good
wreck
decision.
this man's face. It is a desperate roll. Just
You
because
do not
you're
get dice, cat.
in a desperate situation. I will say, because this man is essentially already unconscious, you get the advantage of an extra dice. Like,
Okay.
just add it. Like, because I don't
Seriously?
see, like, he can't fight back.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got a 4, which is a partial success, as I recall.
So this is how I'm actually, you do it, but with a consequence. And this is the consequence, Tony. You went to knock him unconscious, but something in you is stronger than you anticipated. Maybe it's your rage. Maybe it's your, maybe it's that deal you made. You're not sure. But, like, you go and you slam, and the walls are made of, like, that concrete brick, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go and you try to slam his face into the concrete wall to knock him out, and you slam him just a little too hard.
Mm-hmm.
And he does stop moving, and you're like, cool, he's unconscious. But then you start to see his ears bleed. Nothing comes out of it. But he's dead. And this is around the time the door that y'all came through opens. And one of the guys in the rig, like the rig worker, the oil rig workers, stands there in shock and terror, like, oh shit, kid, did you just fucking kill him?
Fuck. Okay.
And
I don't know.
And I'm gonna give y'all a moment here, because this is not, what does Javier do in this moment? You have the gun, Javier? And it just looks like that Tony murdered this cop.
He got out of the cell somehow?
Yeah, he did. He got, like, maybe there was a carelessness that sort of came with it. Like when they had got, because they had got opened, right? Maybe maybe someone dropped keys when they ran out. But there was, like, the gunshot that was heard. So people heard the gunshot from inside. And then the gunshots outside. And this guy was probably essentially just coming to make sure you kids were okay. What do you want to do?
Okay. So this is bad. I'm going to can I start to morph into that particular morph, the fusion that I have that was caught on the news?
He will see you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Out of characterly, I would also, out of characterly, you probably don't know this, but I'm going to give you an expectation. Again, it's a suggestion. You, with the right role, could frame this as you defending yourself from Tony. who tried to wrestle the cop. That's up to you, or you can do the other, or you can do what you want. But that is an option I will throw there at you.
It's not my place, so I'm not going to be quiet, but...
I'm going to point the gun at Tony. And tell him to get back, like, to the cell, essentially. And son of a bitch, yeah, no, fuck it. No, yeah, never mind.
What are you doing?
I'm going to, because I actually have a fucking ability here. Pretty please, fingers crossed. I can pretend that me and Tony were being attacked, that this man was trying to kill us.
Okay.
And that we were defending ourselves and we're scared little boys. And I wasn't considering shooting this man in the head just now.
You have a straight up ability, right? Let's read the ability.
So when you roll resolve action with family, colleagues, authority figures, which as children, maybe, adults, that sort of thing, trying to convince him that we were defending ourselves against him.
Yeah, you know what? I will allow it with, what move are you gonna use in resolve?
Sway.
Yeah, that's, yep, and you'll get 3 in it. Are you gonna take any extra to get any bargains, any...
Yeah, I'm going to push myself for this one.
Cool.
So I'm going to have 4.
I'll go ahead and give you the extra stress because Tony is probably freaking the fuck out anyway. So
5 die. Okay. I've never rolled this many for this.
Yeah, 5 die. Go ahead. It is a desperate roll, so make sure you mark an experience in resolve.
Cool.
And it is a standard effect.
That's
crit?
3 1s and 2 6s. I shit you not.
Oh my god. So and it's T Mike, and he is just like, okay. I just put the gun down. Something's going on. A blue car crashed into the station. Just put the gun down, kid. Yo, come here. Come with me, and we'll figure it out. But Tony, you can't go home. Javier can. You can't.
Okay, I'm sorry, Javier. Tony's going to morph into the cop and try and grab the gun from Javier.
Does Javier allow it?
Time to stop playing, kid. Get out of here.
I think so. I think I'm going to trust Tony. I fucked up plenty of times, and everyone has been pretty kind to me. So,
we're at 7:20. Oh man, it's been so intense. So the way I'm going to sort of wrap this up, and we're gonna wrap up the scene, the whole scene, and I'll narrate it. I won't even give the cops outside another turn. But Riley gets away, finds Effie on the other side of the water, helps you into the forest, gets you into a point to where y'all can both bird to get out of there. The rig worker is holding out his hand, like very confused. Luckily he's drunk, so he doesn't know what's going on, and grabs onto you, Javier, when you get close enough to help you out of there. Luckily for you, the thing worked. And we'll get to the actual consequences of that next session about everything else. But, like, Tony, when you go into... You escape to the other room.
Mhm.
And you do, in fact, see a very small tank with about 20 yerks swimming in it. There is also next to it some sort of device that activates when you walk in, or maybe it was already activated. It was a hologram device. And in that hologram, kind of takes you by surprise because it's a human being of a woman in her mid-40s. And it's almost like she was waiting to supervise something through the hologram. An Hispanic woman in her mid-40s wearing look at that head shake, wearing a uniform, and very, very stoic, and you're the cop. You're the controller that she was expecting to come in here. And she turns to you and she goes, "Is everything all right outside?"
We saw an Andalite, ma'am. They're pursuing it now.
She gives a slight nod and she's like, "20 or so are worth the sacrifice. Be sure to blame Visser 3 for it." And the hologram dims. And we're going to end it there. And you escape, Tony. Whether the 20 are sacrificed or not, that's up to you, what you do with them. But it dims. She does not care. And now, we do experience. This was way more intense than I intended today, but that's what happens when you wrestle guns from people. And this system gets really interesting when you fail or when you don't completely succeed. So let's go through experience. Let's go through the experience of the team first, and then we'll go to each one of you. So I am blind. Where's the team page? Crew sheet. Okay. Okay, for the crew sheets, were you successful in eliminating key members of Yerk forces, do harm to a Visser, or eliminate the usefulness of a specific controller to the Yerk invasion?
I would argue yes.
Yes.
They can't really use the cops anymore, like this specific thing. Yeah, I would say yeah. You did. Did you contend with challenges above your current station? These were below you, actually. This was supposed to be an easy job, so no. Did you bolster your team's reputation or develop a new one? Yes, they know for sure there's an Andalite. So that's 2 experience. And did y'all express the goals, drives, or inner conflict or essential nature of your crew, which is headhunters? There was definitely a point where Javier wanted to take their own prisoners. So yeah, that's definitely part of that. So the crew gets 3 experience. So I'm going to put those as dark green. Y'all only have one more to get a crew level. I just go in the green. All right, now we're gonna go to Riley because you're first. If you rolled any desperate actions, make sure that you. I don't think you got to roll one.
No, we stopped right before it got back to me.
Do you want to just do one body resistance roll to see for the gunshots so you get it?
Sure.
As things whiz past you. Go ahead, roll me a body resistance.
Okay, I have 3 in body.
Mm-hmm.
There are 2 6s there.
You clear your stress.
Oh, wait.
That's actually what you do. You clear your stress.
And get an experience point.
Yes.
The hell of a roll.
Like, you are so good at dodging bullets. Like, it's also
I'm
dark
empowered
and
as
they
an
can't
eagle.
see. Like,
Bird girl for the win.
Yep. Love it.
Also, an eagle dive bombing is terrifying.
It's true. It's terrifying. So go ahead and you did that. Did you tackle a challenge with clever morphing or empathy?
I mean, I don't know if you would call the crow for surveying the routes that Effie would be seen the most as clever.
That is very clever. I would say that is incredibly clever, yes.
Okay. And then, this wasn't technically me morphing, but I came up with a plan of clever morphing to make it look like somebody else was in the car.
That's more, I would say you can count that towards your empathy more than the clever morphing, but I think it falls I would say it falls within this realm. Y'all did such a good job today. I'm so proud of y'all, so go ahead and take it.
Awesome.
Did you express your beliefs, Dry's heritage, or background at any point?
Riley was willing to do something incredibly stupid because Javier was in danger.
That is true.
And that is out of the ordinary for her.
That is true.
And then I don't have another one in mind if anyone else has any suggestions.
Early on, with Effie, like, you went in there angry as shit and immediately were like, no, this misplaced anger. Like, you resolved that within yourself to handle the situation better, and I feel like that's
part of your drive, I would say, for sure.
I'd also mention the embarrassment during the dance that I had forgotten about for a moment.
Yeah.
Everything else happening.
That was kind of adorable and cute. You get to see a force technically 5, but 1 automatically goes to body. So you have 4 with that, and you didn't struggle with your virtues or your traumas this time. You still do not have a trauma somehow.
Riley has been so careful.
Yeah, Riley's been the one who's...
That's why this was so out of character, her doing something as reckless as this.
Right? Holy shit. Okay, let's go to our prince here with Javier. Make sure whatever desperate rolls you rolled, you did at least 1 for sure with your sway. Make sure you mark that in sway. Did you tackle a challenge that keeps the group united and active against your foes? You don't have to succeed. You just have to.
I'm not sure because all of the actions I really took were just to set up with me and Tony.
Mm-hmm.
The plan you had that Tony kind of ruined was to keep us active and would help unite us back as you were trying
have a plan.
I mean, I'll take that if you're willing.
Yeah, good one. Mm-hmm.
And maybe at the very end, dealing with the guy who came out of the cell.
With you, like, I'm fine and you did try. No, what it is that you did try to keep Tony with you by saying that he attacked both of you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That is 100% you trying to keep the group together. That Tony is like, I'm fucking out of here, bro. Getting charged with murder. Let's go. Like, murdering a cop. Let's go. Like,
Can't get charged murder if there's no body, and if the body shows up the next day to work.
The body is there.
And quits.
Yeah.
Yeah, the body is there. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background? So you got 2 from the one above. So for this one, did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background at any point?
With Riley in the dance, just getting a chance to talk about how he feels about her. I feel like that's
sure, of course. Anytime you reveal your feelings for Riley, can I almost also want to argue immediately ripping the chocolate box open, like to me. It's like it's a present. Oh wait, it's not mine. Go ahead. Did you struggle with your recklessness this time around?
Oh yeah, everything that happened, I wanted to do something stupid every single fucking time. Are you kidding me? When they offered to take me back for a drug test, I was all in immediately.
You're like, I'm gonna go get infested. Let's fucking go. Sure.
You can try. I'm ready.
Sure. You get 5 altogether. We're here for it, buddy. All right, Tony, you're up next. You got your desperate rolls ticked off. Did you tackle a challenge head on with righteous violence and fury? Yes to twice. Yes, you got 2 of those. Don't need to discuss it. Both punch him in the face and then murdering him. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background at any point?
When I was talking to get the officer to take me along as well.
Yeah, because you were just like, my parents, I just really need to pee. Like, yeah, sure, take one of those.
And then I didn't get to express it because we were running low on time. He's doing what he's doing because it's his fault Javier was arrested. In fact, the entire situation is
there was like this whole conversation where you were trying to make it right.
Mm-hmm.
And you wanted to make sure that everything was right. So yeah, I'd say that is a drive.
Although I'm pretty sure that's going to continue for a while.
Yeah. Did you struggle with being haunted?
I'm pretty sure that's also going to happen next time.
Yeah, Visser did get brought up just now.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he did. So you get 4. All right, Arnica. Little Arnica. First of all, automatically, yes, you now have a trauma, so get 1. I'm going backwards. You have a trauma. So you struggled with it. You are now paranoid of water. Large bodies of water at this point. Did you tackle a challenge? And also remember, if you did any desperate rolls, which you did at least 1, for your resistance, mark that off in body, which I think you did. Did you tackle a challenge that follows the mandates of the Andalite people or your personal oaths?
I'm not muted. Okay. Let's see. Mandates of my Andalite oath. I don't think so. In fact, honestly, I really kind of stepped against it. I didn't try to tell Riley she was making a terrible human decision or nothing. I was just like, yes, I am absolutely going to be seen by humans where I'm not supposed to be to save the Javier. What a terrible idea. So I feel like I, in fact, did the exact opposite.
You did the, did you tackle, how you tackle the challenge is not necessarily, the outcome isn't the important thing, it's the fact that you tackled the challenge.
Oh, then yes, please.
I'll give you one for that. I think you get one for that for sure, because it was a whole thing. Did you express your beliefs, tribes, heritage, or background at any point?
I mean,
I can drive a car. It's
feel
just like
like-
a spaceship.
Also, Grand Theft Auto versus Grand Theft Spaceship.
Yeah, Grand
Hey,
Theft
it was
Spaceship.
real.
You are very familiar with Grand Theft Auto. That is at least one for that. So
Alright, yeah, that's
Maybe the
hilarious.
noting of the fact that she was witnessing a creature on the edge of like sentience.
yes, absolutely. That would put you at 4. So absolutely. You can only earn 2 for each, with the exception of desperate rolls. You can earn 2 for each thing. So that is that. Go ahead and mark your experience as you so fit. Spread them through your playbook or through your skills, and we're done. So yeah, we're done. The rest of the week. Hi everyone, this is my channel. My name is Valdorinth. I produce TTRPGs for me and my friends. We have, again, every Wednesday, you can find us back here with Morphs in the Swamp. On Saturdays, we will be back here with some Dragon Age, doing that. And what else I got going on? This Sunday, you can find me over at Nat One Heroes playing Rime of the Frost Maiden. I am the monster boyfriend because I'm the Hobgoblin Barbarian. We're about to go wrestle a dragon. I'm very excited about that because I have to go save my moms because I was in fact raised by lesbians. And it's great. And I got a couple other things kind of in the works. Eventually, I will be casting sometime at the end of the month, probably, for a Persona game that my friend Celeste and I are going to be a Persona, fan-made Persona tabletop game. They ran it for Extra Life like a year ago for us. We've been wanting to get it on the stream at some point. We still have to work at the details, but yeah, keep that in mind. Join the Discord. I have to pee, so I'm going to let y'all do your thing and go around the table and talk about yourselves. And Arnica goes first, so it would be Arnica, Nielsen, Anna, Javier. So while I go to the bathroom, where can we find you on the internet in the next 7 days? What you doing?
All right, hi everyone. Thank you. I'm so glad to be back this week. I've been Isharet, also known as Effie, your Andalite, your 3-eyed Andalite now. Actually, I've probably morphed back. I probably have 4 again, but still, I had 3 for a minute. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Hive at Arnicax Ross. You can find me Friday at 2:30 on the Girls Run These Worlds Twitch, where I will be playing Aliens. We will be back for episode 5 of 6, and I am still black, bold, and beautiful in a space horror movie. Still alive and kicking. And then I'll be back next Tuesday at 8. Girls Run These Worlds again for Mass Tales of Helicon City. And then, but I'm taking it easy because I'm moving this weekend into my new apartment. So happy. That's me. That's what I'm up to. Bouncing around to the next guy.
I'm Nilsen. I'm on Twitter at @fell_strike. I am actually not doing anything else right this moment. But all these beautiful people are running all sorts of amazing things right now, and you should definitely watch them all because they're pretty cool.
Hey, I'm next. I'm Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny most places on the internet. I'm a queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer and podcaster. You can find me on Twitter and most other social media at Archival Dust Bun. As far as where to find me, this Saturday night over on Dex 19's channel, you can find me on for the finale of Dragon Riders of Aome, a bunch of young dragon riders trying to save the world with their dragons, because it's always the teenagers that have to do it.
Always.
This Yeah, this show's been equal parts wholesome and adventurous, and there have been so many feels last episode and will be this episode as well. So be sure not to miss it. Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, you can find me on Thorny Dryad's channel for U-Force Inheritance, our Masks actual play. I play a young protege who carries far too much responsibility on her shoulders. We have an amazing cast for that. And all of the videos are on demand, so you can catch up before Sunday. Tuesday nights, you can find me over on Black Feather Guild for Champions of the Fae Season 2. We are now trying to protect the Feywild from a bunch of Demon Lords. I play the Summer Queen's Spy Master, and it's a lot of fun. So if you enjoy Feywild shenanigans, come and check that out. If Lancer's more your thing, you can find me on Response Team Omnicron, a Lancer actual play podcast. You can find that anywhere you normally get your podcast. If you're interested in things like Digimon, check out Emergent Code. Is an upcoming queer and trans-led Animon story podcast. We just announced our cast, which is spectacular. So check that out. Give us a follow on Twitter at Emergent Code Pod, and keep an eye out for that coming very soon. And of course, the other thing I've been given permission to talk about is very soon we'll have news on an upcoming Fabula Ultima campaign over on Lost Caravan. If you enjoyed JRPGs from the 90s and early 2000s, this is the TTRPG campaign for you. But yeah, give me a follow on Twitter to see what I'm up to. There's lots of things coming up that I cannot announce yet. Yeah.
Wow. Why do I always have to follow up all that? You're impressive. Hi, I'm Rula Alejandro Gonzalez Rodriguez, but you can call me Ollie, or like is the Stratus on the internets. And anything that I do, you can find pretty much on YouTube on a channel called Delta Cryptid Productions. There's also a website with DeltaCryptidProductions.com, where I have all of the videos and things that we post linked, as well as anything that I make otherwise. And one last thing, my wife has a Tumblr called @Skeletor's Waifu, and I think it's just a very funny name. You should give it a check out. All right, that's it.
Skeletor's wife. That is very cute. All right, my friends, we are gonna go send some love over to our friends over at Final Show Films. Looks like they're playing some 40K right now. But yeah, we will see you next week, and I will see y'all Saturday. Bye.